Hello, Pisces. Thank you so much, you guys, as always, for being here. You are very loved and very appreciated. Okay, Pisces, so let's talk about this, right? Coming into your second week of November, you pulled jealousy, hope, and atonement. Now, I just want to talk about atonement for a minute. The quote for this is accepting the full burdens of responsibility, the fair as well as the unfair, with no discount. And the sentence says, accepting pain is a way to survive the pain. Not all things burn, but some should. What I feel like is happening here because of jealousy is a part of you is now being suppressed because of possibly others who are judging you based on the past. It's like dealing with people that are like, you don't deserve to have good things because you did this, and that. This is the reminder that anybody that is doing that to you is just showing you the reflection of themselves. Clearly, they are not able to forgive themselves or let go of their own past mistakes, so why should anybody else be able to? Jealousy is a reminder that you do not have to take on the thoughts and the beliefs of others, that it is coming from a place where it is bringing out their shadow and their insecurities about themselves. And what this is doing in turn, I think, with atonement, is making you feel like you have to continue to suffer. And that is so not true with jealousy. And hope is saying that you need to keep going and not to give up. And for the love of God, don't ever suppress the beauty of who you are because of other people. And, you know, the other thing that I wanted to say immediately was stop punishing yourself. Don't do that anymore. We are all the same. We are. We all make mistakes. But to hold past mistakes against another person is like condemning yourself, right? And again, jealousy is just the reminder of that all you're dealing with is the projection of other people's garbage. But don't take it on. Like, just be careful about what you're taking on because of other people. Because what I'm seeing is you being made to feel bad about things that are good and beautiful about you. And then there's the potential for the suppression of that in the shadow, and then, you know, having to go through all that nonsense just to get it to come back out. Now, that's not going to be for all of you, but for those of you who understand what I'm saying, remove those people from your life. You should not be in a place where change is not acceptable for you. If you have made past mistakes, so be it. You are no different than the rest of us. And there's something about it that angers me. It's so unnecessary. But I think what's important here is that whatever it is that you have hope in, don't ever give up on that. Don't ever give up on your dreams. Don't ever give up on the things that you want to experience. Because you are God manifested in human form, and you have the ability to create whatever the hell you want. The past is the past, and that's where it belongs. I don't like the feeling of being punished for being who you are. All right, let me shut up now. Pisces, you're overall the Queen of Wands, and this may be why you're dealing with jealous people. The Queen of Wands is the overall. Absolutely, this could be about another person that is making you feel good about you, bringing out the passion within you. But if this is what you're embodying right now, this is perfect. I cannot tell you how many times I've met so many beautiful, amazing people, and especially, you know, the females that I've had the blessing of meeting in my life. And the first thing I think is she's the Queen of Wands, right? Like, the confidence that comes off of people who are embodying this energy is contagious. She nurtures the passions of others. And this may be what you are looking for, is somebody that sees all of the beauty that is within you and nurtures that and wants to see that grow within you. But if this is you right now, perfect. And it doesn't matter how you identify. To embody the energy of the Queen of Wands is to be confident and look good, feel good. And then not only that, but, you know, there's also the part of that where she understands the mysteries and knows how to use it to her benefit, right? But I love the fact that she is the overall. In the past, the Hermit, so you're coming out now. I think some of you are coming out of solitude and suppression, for that matter. The Hermit, so in the past, doing some inward reflection, taking that moment to yourself, looking at where you are versus where you want to be, right? But this is for real and for sure you coming out in a very confident and assured way, which is beautiful to see. In the present, the Four of Pentacles, and the thing that came to me immediately was, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. I feel like this in the present moment is you being very cautious of what you're willing to give of yourself to certain people, especially if they've affected you in the past where you've had to question who you were. But I'm interested to see what's going on here, because this is withholding. I don't think it's holding on too tightly to something. I really feel like this is you holding on to what is worthy to you, right? Holding on to your values, holding on to what's important, not willing to give. But this may be something that you have learned recently based on past experiences that have led you to the point where you are now. And that may have to do with other people who did not appreciate the beauty of you. Beautiful. So, and there's this stability that is going to be coming through here. And for you, this is you celebrating a return to the better version of you, right? Like, so when we talk about guides, a lot of times that's your future version of yourself. And if you see a positive future version of you, that is definitely what's going to be coming through here. And a new foundation is being built off of this where you get to celebrate, right? This is beautiful to see. But withholding seems to be important right now in order to kind of create this new foundation for you. But this came from possibly isolation and solitude and a reflection of you. Your best path to follow, the Six of Wands. You know what, right? Like, not only do I want to say, put your passion and your talents out there, but absolutely accept the recognition that's coming through. And there may be some importance in that too. Like, this could be somebody coming through that is important, that may, you know, create some new ideas for you to build a foundation on here where you get to be true to who you are, what your passions are. You know, again, there's that kind of like her supporting the passions of others. But I feel like here, you know, there's of course always the warning of, right, you need to continue. Don't allow yourself to kind of hit a plateau. And that's probably only going to make sense for some of you, but you know, being on the high horse, right? Like, I don't feel like that's what you're doing. But I think that, you know, if the recognition starts to come in for the victories that you are having, it's something that's, you know, worth paying attention to, worth recognizing, right? And appreciating. I think that that's going to be important too. But I'm looking at this. The Knight of Pentacles. Okay, so with the Knight of Pentacles being in your environment and looking at the Four of Pentacles, you know, it's, I don't need to do anything drastic. I just need to continue on the path that I'm on. but being aware of what I'm giving. This very much has this feeling of, I'm not giving any more to anything that doesn't have future potential. The Knight of Pentacles, right? It's slow and steady. It's a methodical movement. But it's seeing the long term and being able and willing to take the long route to get there. But this has come out of possibly, having too much taken from you that is putting you in a place right now with the Four of Pentacles where you're like, no, I know what I'm not willing to give. These are the things that are important to me, and I'm not willing to give any of it away because I have a plan, I have a path. And it may take a little bit, but I think it's worth putting yourself out there though. Your hopes and your fears, the Eight of Swords, and this would be your own thoughts just blocking you, right? It's being stuck, not being able to see a way out of difficulties. But these are the things that you're creating in your own mind, the resistance that you're creating yourself. Now, if you are stuck in a situation, this is you being able or hoping to be able to see a way through that. But with the Hermit coming through, I think you already know, especially with the Knight of Pentacles being in your environment. There's a plan. There is a plan and a path set forward. But it really depends on where you're not willing to have things taken from you anymore. Because I'm looking at these and I'm really feeling this. You can't have the best parts of me. Because clearly, this is not where you expected to be. But be careful about any kind of resistance that is going on within you. Especially if you're in a situation that's keeping you stuck right now. Because it's not going to stay that way. And it's not so much about protecting yourself because it's not the Nine of Wands, it's the Four of Pentacles. You're not holding on too tightly to anything. You're holding on to the things that you value and value about yourself. And this is the confidence to be able to come out now and follow that long road, wherever it may lead, and accepting the support that comes with it. Because you do, it's not the Three of Cups, but I feel like there are people that are recognizing you that may be worth having in your space where you may not have been experiencing that before. And I say that too because of the Oracle cards. But this, if you're fearing being stuck and not being able to see ways for you to move forward, that is what you're going to reflect back to you, right? But whatever resistance that you're dealing with, especially mentally, is what you're going to want to look at right now. And then coming out, there's your Ace of Pentacles. Perfect. So the Ace of Pentacles, here is the opportunity that you've been looking for. The groundwork is being laid for that with the Four of Wands here, and then you have the celebration of it finally coming through. But this is realistic. And with the Knight of Pentacles being in your environment, as long as you're willing to take that path, no matter how long it takes, ultimately, you're going to see the results that you want to see. And it may be, having to find a different way of seeing what you want to have achieved. But I think for a lot of you, this is a new beginning where you get to kind of show off you and your talents and what you're able to do, right? Your passions with the Queen of Wands. The Eight of Wands, okay, so quick changes may have happened that led you to a point where you're kind of looking at things going, yeah, is this really where I saw myself in the past, The Knight of Swords. It's such a huge contrast, right? but communication here. And then you have the Seven of Swords, and this is what I'm talking about. So with the Seven of Swords here, absolutely this could be about you keeping things to yourself, no longer willing to share with people who are not being clear with their intentions. And with the Knight of Swords here, I think that, you know, for some of you, if you're directly and harshly communicating, you may be communicating to someone in particular, like, you know, you've taken enough from me. And that's only going to be for some of you. The Eight of Wands, and again with the Hermit, this is like things that happen or change quickly that, you know, put you in a place of isolation or solitude where you're kind of like reflecting back on yourself and the best version of yourself and where you see yourself at, or where, you know, you expected yourself to be compared to where you are. This again, though, the communication that's coming through, right? This is a new opportunity for you where absolutely you control the trajectory of where your dreams and your goals are landing. But this could be quickly like needing to communicate something directly to somebody who has not been exactly honest. Now, you know, for others of you, if we're talking about mistakes from the past and having that held against you, I think that this is you kind of breaking out of that now. And it's kind of like, you know, who are you to call the kettle black, right? Like, who are you to wave your finger at me is kind of what I feel like. Or the pot calling the kettle black, right? Like, how is it right that judgment is being passed on you when there is at least some understanding of the ill intentions of somebody else, but a new foundation is being built for you, where I think there's this reconnection to you and no longer willing to give to anything that is not, you know, the path that you see yourself on, no matter how long it takes, right? But quickly communicating something harshly with the Seven of Swords. But by doing that, it's creating with the Ace of Pentacles a new beginning for you where it may have been held off before. Now, again, for some of you, if we're talking about what you're holding on to, you may not be talking about what your intentions are. And this is kind of like, it's none of your business what I do. This is quickly acting, though, too, based on communication. But I still see you with this new foundation and you being happy about it and celebrating it, where, you know, others may try to sabotage that, though, too, with the Seven of Swords. And again, you know, it kind of feels like there's this realization of the people that you have allowed into your life and what they have taken from you. And this is, you know, I'm aware now of my values and what's important to me, and I'm not giving that up anymore. Compassion. The root chakra. So grounding yourself in compassion and understanding, and then purpose. Okay, so compassion. You know, it can be hard to find compassion for others who are acting with ill intent, especially against you. But if you can have mindfulness and understanding of why these people are behaving the way that they are, it ultimately leads to compassion. But it's also important to have compassion for yourself. But what is grounding you? What is grounding you should be compassion. And that is what is going to create the sense of purpose, I feel like, for you. You know, and then I look at this too, and I'm like, if you're getting the proper recognition, it may be worth paying attention to. But be aware of the attention that you're giving to people who, you know, like I said, it's like, you made mistakes. Why do you deserve to be happy? Why do you deserve to have these things, right? And again, that's only going to be for some of you. Have faith in your dreams. That seems to be a really important message for a lot of people. I think that this is a time in our collective consciousness where we're really starting to realize our potential. And not only that, but accepting the things that, we have created in our life, whether it's good or bad. Because there's such a higher understanding now of our important part in that co-creation, right? And then surrender to the divine. So have faith in your dreams and surrender to your own divine nature. You are God. You are trapped in a meat suit at the moment, but that doesn't mean that you can't create what you want. But I think that awareness of the attention that you are willing to give yourself to is going to stop any kind of situations with people who have ill intentions. And again, I say that because of the Seven of Swords, but this is, it very much has a feeling of a new beginning for you, where there's this ability now to speak truth. It may be harsh, it may be quick and direct, but in order for things to change for you quickly, I think that that's what you need to do. And it may be calling something out too. But you're okay. It's like I have my path laid out. And it may have taken you a while to kind of get back to it though too. But regardless though, you have this beautiful, new, sustainable, realistic beginning. And the celebration of that happening